Hello, 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 hello. How are you guys? Give me some time to get on. I know you guys aren't here yet. Get this back some. Matter of fact, today I was going to. Welcome to the Become Your Magic Power Hour, where we meet here every Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. in order to ignite our abracadabras, in order to see who we are, love ourselves, and basically show up for the who that is us. Anyway, I am having a hard time trying to get the right frame. I don't think I need this light on behind me. Is that good? Yeah, that's enough light. Okay. So anyway, you see my abracadabra shirt? Isn't she beautiful? You too can have this. Message me if you would like one. At this time, I am going to begin to share myself. Anyway, this pillow from behind me is kind of pushing me in front of the seat. Like I said, this is the Become Your Magic Power Hour, where we show up every Monday through Friday at lunchtime at 12 noon in order to empower you into a better relationship with yourself, to make you realize that everything that you've been through, everything that you've done is what makes you so amazing, is what makes you so pre-qualified for the task at hand. And so it's about us knowing our worth, showing up in it, and being accountable and being conscious in every single moment, because every moment matters. Today we are going to talk about how self-love eliminates boundaries, and how it's time to go beyond your limiting beliefs. Now, always at the 15 hour is when we begin, when I begin to speak about whatever the topic is. And so at this time, the first 15 minutes is me saying hello to you, welcoming you into the Become Your Magic Power Hour, where I assure you that at the end of this hour, you will feel some type of spark, some type of light, some type of soul stirring moment that is going to allow you to see the beauty that is you, that is going to remind you that everything that you've been through is what makes you so qualified, what makes you so worthy, which makes you the soul print that the world is waiting on, right? And so I think the reason why we are not showing up in our magic is because we do not understand how magical we really are. We don't understand, or have we counted up all of those abracadabra moments that got us to who we are today. We aren't recognizing that the power that is us came from us getting through those situations. Those abracadabra moments was how we walked into the reality that we now live in. And so in order to knock down the boundaries, right? That limited belief, you got to know and love yourself, to the core, which means you have to have a personal relationship. You have to be in action for your attraction, and you have to be intentional with your God piece. And so while I am giving some time for you guys to tune in, there were some definitions that we're going to go over today. And so I just wanted to write a couple of them down so that it'll make the process faster. So if you're tuning in, please share. This is the time we have the opportunity to share and get prepared to get a power up, right? Remove. I need to start playing some music. I got to find out how to write. Matter of fact, no, I'm not going to play with these Facebook people right now. Abolish. I liked it. Remove or get rid of. Abolish. So if you're tuning in and you're watching a replay, please always put hashtag replay. I'm going to let you know some things if this is your first time tuning in. The hashtag BYMPH stands for Become Your Magic Power Hour. That is what this whole mission is all about, right? I am the CEO and founder of I Choose Me, hashtag No More Excuses, which is a movement, which is now also a 501c3, which inspires women and girls into a relationship with themselves, right? To get their mind right, to get over these traumas that, we hold in the deepest secret parts of ourselves, and then people never understand why we function or operate the way we operate. And so being able to get in, yes, honey. Huh? No, I don't. Being able to clock into yourself, being able to get past those situations that were making you not meant to break you, it allows you to show up in your glory, in your story. But as I was ministering, and that's what I would call it, right? Because we all in ministry. As I was, doing different sessions and refill stations and talks and, keynote speaking and writing books, I realized that it wasn't just for the women, because so many men were transformed, my husband being one of them, right? And so it's about us realizing that how we speak into each other's life, what we believe about each other, is really the foundation of our seeds of thought. And the seeds of thought are the faith that we have. And so it's our responsibility to be in action for our attraction by being intentional about those seeds of thought, being intentional about the soil in which our seed is planted in, and being very aware that the things that we went through, we have to remove the shame in order to get in our lane. And so we have to take the power from it. So we are turning pain into power in order to show up in assignment, to go beyond our roles and titles and be the gift that we were called to be. And so, matter of fact, that's what I forgot to do. Before I start doing this, I'm supposed to be sharing myself, which is probably why nobody is keeping me company right now. What am I looking for? Hello, hello, hello. Once again, I'm looking for me. I'm always having a hard time to find me, so I'm sure you are having a hard time finding me too. I am live now. Here she goes. All right. So let me share this in a couple of my groups, because we are nearing the 15-minute mark. And I like to start the message at the 15-minute mark. I give time for you guys to get on, to share. But either way, if there are 0 people or 1 person, I showed up. And so I get on with the business at hand. Whether you catch me later or you catch me now, I am in the business of being in action. So I don't need anybody to show up for me to deliver on what God told me to do, right? And so we have to be like that in life. We don't need to wait for somebody to come to start whatever it is that God told us to do. We don't need an audience in order to be who God called us to be. We just have to show up, know that what we have to say matters, and that whoever needs it will get it whenever it is that they have the opportunity to come around. So, like I said, today we're going to talk about how self-love eliminates boundaries, and it's time to go beyond your limited belief. So let me finish. Let me share this so I can be ready by the 15-minute mark, because I am 9 minutes in. Okay. So as I said, you have time to share. If you are watching from my YouTube page, please remember you could write your comments. I can see what you have going on too. I am live in 3 different pages. If you are in my I Choose Me Bling Boutique page, you cannot share. That is a private group. So hello in the I Choose Me Bling Boutique page as a VIP private group. Join and you can shop with me there. I create in there and you get the best deals and you get stuff that never even makes it to the website. So in the I Choose Me Bling private group, hello to you guys. Hello in the Precious Collections group. Hello to you guys. Now, let me share to 2 other people, and then that's it. Now, the rest is up to y'all. I don't want to bombard other people with me. I will allow y'all to share me with your friends if you want to, right? Because either way, we moving. And I think I'm done. Here. Okay, got it. So now I see you guys. So like I said, we are going to begin in a few moments. As I said today, the Power Hour is really about us coming together, getting ignited. This is the second day that I'm at noon, so I'm trying to get people used to it. This is my third week doing the Power Hour, Become Your Magic. So I'm normally on from 7 to 8, but because I'm about to do a 30-day challenge, I had to move around my schedule. And so for now on, I'm going to do noon. In some cases, I might go back and forth. So all I would say is check for my, what is the word? Check for my notifications and it'll tell you when. So some days I'll go on at 12, some days I'll go on at 7. Like I said, this is all about us getting powered up. This is about us getting in action for our attraction and recognizing that how we think is how we show up. And so simply renewing your mind, seize a thought that allow you to activate who you are is clearly all that is about. And so when I begin to see who I am, when I begin to understand, when I change the way I see myself and the way I think about myself, I literally change my outcome. And so becoming your magic is realizing that magic is just a supernatural force, which is you, right? You are a supernatural force. You have the power to choose how your day goes. You have the power to choose what you get out of life, right? By just being in action, right? By creating plans and actually showing up in it. So abracadabra, that is the word we use when we hear something that stirs our soul. Abracadabra is the word we use when we don't look like who we used to look like, right? And so if something sets you off, if you're in the moment in the middle of the day and you get reminded of how you would have done it this way, but because you were conscious in your mindset, you totally went a different route than normal because you want different results, I want you to say abracadabra, whether you say it out loud, whether you say it in your head, whatever it is. I want you to acknowledge all the times that you think different than your norm, creating new habits, right? And so when we begin to create those new habits of thoughts in our mind, we create the life we want to live. And that's what it's all about. Like, you really have the power and control over your own life. And until you can recognize that, we can get caught in not knowing that how we see ourselves and how we think about ourselves is really the faith we go out everything we want in life, right? And so if I believe in myself, if I believe in what it is that I want, if I really believe that I can have it, then my action is going to be walking like I believe it, right? So that's that having that confidence in who you are, having that confidence in where it is you see yourself going. So becoming your magic is understanding that you are the magician in your life. And anytime somebody reminds you of who you used to be, this is the perfect time to use abracadabra, because that's what it means. It means that I do not look like my story. Right? I do not look like what I've been through. It is because while I was going through those valleys, I didn't stop climbing until I got to the top of the mountain. So what you see is the light shining on me at the top of the mountain. But what you forgot was the valley that it took me. And so when I say abracadabra, it's me remembering where I came from. It's me actually looking in the mirror at myself and celebrating what came behind me, not suffering in the journey, but celebrating the victory of who I am today because of what's behind me. And those are the abracadabra moments that we live in. Hold on, let me hit this slide. So yes, those are as I was saying, those are the abracadabra moments that we live in. Those are the abracadabra moments that we owe ourselves. So we are at the 14-minute hour, and I'm excited because the message is about to begin. We are counting down. And so here is what we came to talk about today. Oh, I also want to remind you guys, yesterday we spoke about the 30-day challenge. I am starting the challenge on, as I said, it is the I Hire Myself challenge. The I Hire Myself challenge. I just made this up. I am going on my first 30 days. I'm starting on October 21st. All it means, really quick and simple, is just as you get a job, you clock in for 40 hours and you give the time and attention to that specific position in order to increase where it is going. So right now, in the next 30 days, whether you want to hire yourself today, whether you want to wait till the 21st and go on a 30-day journey with me, but for 40 hours a week, you must clock into yourself. That means you have to create a schedule in which, as I said, in a month's time, we get 720 hours. In 30 days, we get 720 hours. I am challenging you to give the love of yourself, give that attention, give that relationship. I'm challenging you to date yourself, to work for yourself, to hire yourself for only 160 of those hours. So out of 720 hours, I want you to give yourself 160. And the way I did that math was 40 hours times 4 weeks. So I gave you 2 days off. So that's literally only is 28 actual days. You can decide if you want to work 7 days a week. You can decide if you want to work 5 days a week. You can decide if you want to work 1 day a week. But the Hire Myself Challenge is about you designating 8 hours to your personal growth, wherever area you want. So if abundance, if financial is not your area, then you're not creating a schedule to bring in more money. You're creating a schedule to have more quality time, right? So whatever it is, the area of your life that you need to hire yourself for the next 30 days, consider it a salary job. At the end of those 30 days, I want you to add up what you gain from that. If it was a deeper relationship with your spouse because you was intentional about putting time aside for that relationship, whether it was your business, I'm working in my business, so I created all these different lanes and I got all these different products, and now I'm working on a 30-day challenge to promote myself, to be active on the structure of my business, to see if I can become my magic abracadabra 30 days later. So like I said, if you're interested in going on the challenge with me, I'm starting on next Wednesday, the 21st, because it coincides with a 30-day other program I have going on. So I want to marry both of them so I can get a big punch at the end. So I can't wait to get my testimony at the end of the 30 days. But if you would like to go on, email ichooseme@gmail.com. And as I said, put I hire me, and there will be a weekly meeting on Zoom, a private meeting for the people who are going on the challenge so that we can support each other, celebrate each other, and uplift each other. And so it's all about not just going, but having people to go with you, to be intentional about the things that we want, and realizing that after 30 days, we create a habit. And the habits that we want to create are the parts of our lives that we want to improve and the things that we want. So because we are our own magic, the only thing that it requires is that I show up for me. So without further ado, we made it to the 18-minute hour. We are past the 15-minute. And as I said, the topic today is self-love eliminates boundaries. Self-love eliminates boundaries. And it's time for us to go beyond our limited beliefs. So like I like to do before I go on and talk about exactly what it means to what the topic is all about, I want us to go over the definitions. You'll find that I'll do the definitions at the beginning, just so we are on the same even playing field as we're understanding where I'm trying to go with the message. So self-love eliminates boundaries. And so the first word that we are going to do is eliminate. So the definition I want y'all to be thinking about right now is eliminate. The topic is self-love eliminates boundaries. Time to go beyond your limited beliefs. So eliminates. Here we go. Completely remove or get rid of something. That is to eliminate. Remove, get rid of, abolish. That's what it means to eliminate. The next one, exclude someone or something. That's another word for eliminate. From consideration, knock out, beat, get rid of. So to eliminate is to remove or exclude. That's the word for eliminate. The next word we're going to do is boundaries. What does it mean to have boundaries, right? So the definition for boundary is a line that marks the limits of an area. A dividing line. Come on now. A boundary is a border, a frontier, a borderline to divide, division. So that is what a boundary is, right? It is to separate. the line that marks the limit of an area. I love that. I love that. We're going to go with that one. The line that marks the limit of an area. The next word is limiting. Come on now. So now we got eliminates, to abolish, to get rid of. Boundaries, the line that marks the limiting, the end of an area. Now we have limiting. Hold on. Limiting. So, limiting is settling or serving as a limit to something, meaning that's as high as it can go, right? So the limit means I can't go no higher than this. This is the level I put it at, right? So setting or serving a limit to something. That is limiting. Restrictive, confining. Restrict or restrain. Constrict or restrain, right? That's for limiting. Restrictive. I want to put that word here because that's the most important word. Restrictive or restrain, right? That's limited. And like I said, I hope you guys are really taking these lives seriously, because I'm telling you, if you really want to show up in your power, you got to be in action, because we all know knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is transformation. You cannot transform unless you apply. I don't care how much you look at people. I don't care how much you're fascinated about what they have to say. If you do not take heed that you are the magician in your life and start to operate like you are in control of what your destiny, your fate. If you're not in alignment with what you want, because you are trusting yourself to get rid of these limited beliefs that we're talking about today, you're going to stay stuck. It's time for us to get unstuck. Enough already. Align. Oh, sorry. We was doing the boundaries. We're going to go over all of them again. Border line. Here we go. That's the border. Boundaries is the border. The line that marks the limits of an area. I like that one. And the belief, last but not least, is beliefs. What it is to have a belief, right? What it is to have a belief system. What does that look like? That's all about your seeds of thought. A belief is your seed of thought. So a belief is a faith, like period. Faith is the seed of thought. Trust and acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. That's your belief. So now that we have the definitions, we can go on with the topic. And so, as we said, we're talking about what does it mean to have self-love. Your self-love eliminates boundaries, and it's time to go our beliefs. So we understand that eliminates means to remove or get rid of, to abolish. Boundaries is the border, right? The limits. Limiting is to restrain or restrict, and beliefs is just trust. So self-love eliminates boundaries because boundaries are set up, right, due to our limited beliefs. Limit means I don't think I could go any farther than this. Now, in order to have the ability to believe in the dreams that are in you, in order to have the work, right? They say faith without works is dead. In order to get in action and have the work, you can't believe that is impossible. You have to believe that what it is that you are wanting, what it is that you are desiring, what it is that you are aiming for is within your reach. And so when you have a limited belief and in who you are because you haven't fell in love with yourself, right? Self-love is meaning that I am willing to date myself. I'm willing to get in a relationship with myself in order to see the things that make me smile, in order to know the things that lift me up, in order to get in action for what I am and who I am, to create this vision that I have in my head. I have to begin to love who I am, right? And that starts with me accepting the things that I cannot change. A lot of our limited beliefs comes from our past or maybe what we've seen in our lives, right? Because I often say it's not in your DNA, it's in your CNA. And I say CNA as spelling it SEENA because it's what we see that we believe, right? Not too often do we have faith in what we have not seen. Even when we think about the parables and the stories in the Bible, and we think about how everybody went to Jesus and they had so much faith, but then I said, did they really have faith? Or did they have evidence? See, faith is believing in things unseen, bringing stuff into fruition, right? And so this table that I'm sitting at, I can assure you that the first person who created this table had faith. They have faith in unseen. So faith to me, it's about believing in what's unseen. And so the person that I always think about is the first person who went to Jesus, right? The first person who believed enough to put their life in his hands, right? To co-sign all of the talk that was going around, right? Because it was just talk until it was real. Let's be real about it. We wonder why people don't, you think that people are not supporting you just because they don't like you or they don't love you. It has nothing to do with that. It just has something to do with the fact that it's just make believe right now. It is your imagination. But being able to have self-love and knowing that all the things that you've been through has pre-qualified you for the vision that you have, to know that you can make it there, to know that you can accomplish that goal, to know that you can master that type of relationship, to know that you can have those things is because of the faith you have in who you are. So when I say that I think about the first person that went to Jesus, they had a love and a faith that was unprecedented, right? You don't know faith like that. Because if you're saying, I have faith because I go to this job every day, that's more blind faith, I would say, because you got to absolutely know that the job that is out of your hands, right? And so to believe in it, to have faith that it's going to be there tomorrow, that would be considered a sense of faith, like that faith of going to Jesus, right? Because Jesus, he didn't know what would happen next. They heard about what was going on. They know that they said he was the great Messiah and he would be a healer and all that. But that first person, oh my God, the first person had the most faith because somebody that powerful could have knocked you out. So to have a belief and wanting and a desire for something so bad that you're willing to walk up to the plate and be the first to do it is what makes you a powerful person, is what change your limited beliefs, right? Because there are no boundaries for me. There are no boundaries for you when you begin to see that everything you desire, everything you want, everything you see for yourself is available to you when you get into that relationship with yourself, when you become a trustworthy person to yourself. And so life is about learning to trust ourselves. Life is about learning to celebrate ourselves. Life is about learning to show up in our best pieces, because it's hard to be who you were called to be when you don't have a trust relationship with yourself, when you're stuck in yesterday, right? When you have these limited beliefs, these boundaries set up because you haven't counted up how you got to where you got to. You haven't counted up how amazing you are, how magical you are, how bigger than life you are. And maybe it's perhaps because you have not shared enough of your story. Do you know that the more you share your story, the more God gets the glory, because you will realize how magical you are through somebody else's eyes. You will realize how magical you are through somebody else's eyes, because we suffer in silence every day. That's why my one of my sayings is no more sis. And when I say sis, I'm not talking about sister, queen, girlfriend. I'm talking about suffering in silence. No more suffering in silence. And that is a soul thing. Men and women do it alike, right? We suffer in silence because we haven't created that self-love for ourselves. And so we beat ourselves up about the things that we've gone through, the places that we've been, the pains, the holes that are sitting and dwelling in us. We beat ourselves up every day about those things because we suffer in silence, because we are afraid to say that, oh my God, I'm magic. I'm magic because I know where I came from. I'm magic because I dreamt of who I'm becoming. I'm magic because I have created abracadabra moments every time I get back up and make the story look different. Every time I get up past that abuse, I'm abracadabra, right? Every time I get up past the loss of a husband or a wife or a spouse or a child, that is abracadabra to somebody. Every time you can get past that maybe rape, that is abracadabra. The loss of a child is abracadabra, whether it is in the flesh or a miscarriage, right? That experience of wanting, that is abracadabra. And when we tell our stories, we light up the world, because then people begin to believe in magic. And so who we are is magic, because we are the supernatural force. And when we begin to have those self-love relationships with ourselves, we then eliminate the boundaries. We get rid of the roof on us, right? We get rid of who we know we can be. We get rid of that idea because of those seeds that was planted in our head. I can't be great. Nobody will understand. There is always somebody who understands, because God created you to be a solution to a problem. Which means there is always somebody who understands. There is always somebody who is waiting to hear from you. There is always somebody who needs your message. There is always somebody who is waiting to know how you got to where you got to. And when we begin to remove the shame and get in our lane and begin to love who we are, it's not in spite of those things. It is because of those things you deserve to be loved. Because you have already added up the cost. You have already dictated your value. You have already found that X factor, the thing that makes you so precious, the thing that makes you so powerful, the thing that makes you so necessary. It is those things that you fell out of love with yourself for. What are the things that made you fall out of love with yourself? Is it because you didn't show up for you when you should have? Is it because you suffered in silence for so long? What made you fall out of love with yourself? And how do you fix that relationship in order to become the person who shows up? Because when you love on somebody, there is nothing you wouldn't do for that person. There is no limits to what you would do for the person that you love. You will turn into somebody totally different. You have somebody be a calm, like the mamas, honey, the mamas calm. But when you mess with their child, they are the most scariest person you could come in contact with. They are reckless, you know? So I want to know that, what is it that you need from yourself in order to what? To love yourself like you deserve to be loved. That's the love I'm talking about. I'm talking about turning that love into like, gaining favor with yourself, right? Because it is one thing to love. God loves us all. Oh my God. I said, I choose me is going VIP, is getting a seat at God's feet. because he already loves us all, but to be liked, to pay more, VIP is a more expensive ticket. So if you're crying about all the hell you've been through, then do you really want to be in VIP? Because it costs more to get to the front of the room. And see, we'll pay top dollar to go to the front of the concert, and we'll pay top dollar to be in the front of the conference, and we'll pay top dollar to be in front of the movie theater. We'll pay top dollar to be in the front of the places in which we disappear in, but we won't pay top dollar to be in front of the room in which we were created for. You've been created to go VIP through the experiences that you paid for, but until you can sit in it and add up the cost and begin to love yourself enough because you did it, because you made it, because you are not in your yesterday. I'm not talking about your mind. I'm talking about your flesh. Your flesh made it through. Your mind is another story. That's why God doesn't say renew your flesh. He said renew your mind. You got to think different to be different. You got to start to love yourself past that thing. You got to love yourself past those insecurities in order to what? See who you are. You got to love yourself past that situation in order to what? Be who you were created to be. And so Abracadabra Moments is saying, oh my God, I see me. Oh my God, I'm not here alone. Oh my God, there is value in my story. Oh my God, that was magic. Oh, how I did that. Oh, that was magic. If only they knew how magical I was. If only they knew how magical I can be. If only they understood where I came from. They would understand the magician that I am. They would understand the abracadabra moments that got me to this point. And so I want you to sit here and I want you to celebrate yourself because you know that you're worth loving. And if you can begin to love you, then other people can begin to see you because you are the blueprint to your magic. You are the blueprint to how people show up for you. You are the blueprint to how you are treated. Hello, Star. You are the blueprint. And so what is the magic that is you? What is the blueprint you want people to understand? How do you want to begin to love yourself to eliminate those boundaries you have set up? To go beyond your limited beliefs. You have a limit on who you can be because you don't know how magical you are. And you know why? Because you haven't fallen in love with yourself in the way that you need to. And so I'm challenging you to clock into you. I'm challenging you to hire yourself for 30 days. For 30 days to hire yourself and to give yourself 40 hours a week for 4 weeks. And you decide when you want to hire yourself, whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's the day after. You decide when you want to hire yourself. Hey girl, hey boo, I don't know who this is. Why? Because your name isn't coming up. I need to look over here and see if I can see you. Let me know who is hey booing me. I want you to realize that you are your limited beliefs. Those seeds of thought, it is time for us to guard in our minds. What this power hour is doing, it is helping me help you guard in your mind. It is helping me help you see that it is time for us to stop using excuses. It is time for us to stop being stuck in who we think we are and become who we were created to be. No more excuses. That's the name of the game. No more excuses. Why no more excuses? Because the excuses prevent us from going higher. The excuses become our boundaries. If God say that you are, I am that I am, and that you would do greater works in the world than your brother Jesus, Yeshua, then what am you? And what am you doing with what it is that you've been given the power and the anointing to cover? You were created for today. I was created 40 years ago for a time like this. I look at these babies. My nephew is 2 years old, was just over here, and oh my goodness, they were on Netflix. and he didn't want to watch Netflix. He didn't want to watch what they were watching. Do you know he took the remote, turned to his show, pressed play, and then gave my daughter the remote back, gave his cousin back the remote. You know what that meant to me? That he was born for the time that he is in. Because there was a time when we were young and the Jetsons were like, oh my God, a time when you can be on the phone and speak to somebody. Now I can call anybody with this iPhone and I can see them. So it's no longer a limited belief. It's a reality. It's the evidence. But the rich person is the person who believed in it before it was evidence. Come on now. Apple is a millionaire, probably trillionaire. I don't even know their numbers. I keep up with myself. Money though, you know. But what I'm saying is they started on what? No boundaries. They didn't have a limited belief. They weren't stuck in a box. They wanted to create the world they wanted to live in. And so I didn't want to just imagine seeing somebody on the phone. I wanted to create a world where I could see somebody on the phone. That means I was beyond what I saw. And so these kids are being born. The pandemic is like, oh my God, the pandemic, it was written in the books. This is not new to God. This was already written. And now we're going into a world where we're online and we're virtual. Why? Because we need to begin to start taking inventory and being intentional about our time. We got to treat this thing like it matters. And we've been throwing our time away so much that in 720 hours in a month, we have barely clocked into ourselves 160 hours of those. And you came not for your roles and titles, but you came on assignment. You came to be somebody's solution, and you're holding on, harboring all that hard work that you've been through. So nobody can get and find their switch, right? Because you can't show up because you are stuck in your limiting beliefs. But you were born for a time like this. And so the reason why things go unanswered is because people don't show up. Because God himself will never come down and just do it. He will send people into your life. He will instill concepts and principles in you to bring forth, because we all have a perfect peace. That's that God peace. That is the solution. He is the answer. That makes you an answer. And so the imperfect parts of you is what creates the perfect God peace, which is why you show up. And so in order for me to be that magic, I got to stop believing in low frequency and start believing in a high frequency. Start believing that I am my own boundaries, and that when I begin to believe I can go beyond here, I do go beyond here. I want you to know that God has put you in a jar with no top. He has put you in a jar with no lid. And the lid is the seed of thought that you're stuck in because you don't know that you were created for a time like this. And so my nephew, who is 2 years old, can go on the line. I had to learn, and I'm grown. I had to learn how to do what he did effortlessly, in which we didn't even really teach him because it's in his DNA. But we see people read, but can we read because we see them read? But it's something different about the way our new generation is made up. That's why we are going into a virtual world, because we are shifting. And until we can begin to grow and change, right? Because momentum and movement, if I am moving, the scenery is not the same. So those of you that want to stay in the same place doing the same thing, then you don't want to move. Because when you're moving, things are changing every second. Every moment. That's what magic looks like. Change every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day. That's magic. You are magic. And so it's up to us to move in the magic and the frequency of knowing just how boundless we are. That there is no lid on you. There is no lid on your desire. You got to be the first person to do it if that's what it looks like. You got to break the generational curses in your family. You got to be the first millionaire if that's what it looks like. And if it means that I have to clock into myself for 160 hours a month when God has already given me 720 and he set me here on assignment, then I will answer the call. I will show up in my assignment. And it's as simple as this. Do you know that I go live 12 to 1 every day? That's already 5 hours I got credit for with God. And then on Sundays, come on now, on Sundays, I do a talk with my friend William Brown, and we do a Sunday talk, every one-word conversation, going over the last 7 words of his show through the week. That's Sundays at 11. That's 4 hours I can add to my clocking into me. That's already that quick, right? Come on now. That's already 6 hours times 4 weeks. That's 24 hours I'm already clocking into me. And I'm getting results. I'm getting emotional results. I'm getting gratification in knowing that what I see and believe, I can make happen when I believe in who God created me to be. When I know that I am limitless, when I know that he has not put a lid on me. And that when I begin to see me as he sees me, I begin to live in the now. I begin to show up because the moment needs you. Today needs you. It needs your limiting beliefs to go away. It needs you to know that you are powerful beyond measure. It needs you to know that you are the I am that he sent. It needs you to know that until you show up, somebody is missing something powerful, amazing, necessary. Because whatever age you are, that many years ago, God chose you. He sent you. And in order for you to change the now, the reason why the world is so dark is because enough people haven't turned on their lights. Darkness cannot coexist in the light. So the question is, have you lit up the rooms that you walked into? Have you allowed somebody else to find their switch because you know that you are but a mere example of God's magic? That when somebody was crying and you knew you had the answer, that you didn't have to go on a stage to tell the world your pain, but you decided to show up because God made you in ear's length of somebody's sorrow, somebody's suffering. And you said, guess what? You suffer no more. Why? Because I am the answer. I'm the answer because I showed up today by being who I was yesterday, by celebrating who I was, by realizing that every day I got closer to me, I became magical. I became a supernatural force. I became God's supernatural force. And so are we multi-level marketers for God in this season? Because, oh my God, the world needs it. This whole idea, it has me so emotional. You know why? Because I am listening to myself. As I say, as God used me, oh my goodness, I just allow myself to be a vessel, and it fills me up to know that in all the hell that we go through daily, that we are magical beings. That we are magical beings. Because of how we survive that thing. Because of how we still have joy throughout those pains. Because we get to be the picture that we imagine. I get to sit in my imagination right now. When I'm talking to you, it's surreal because I am the magic that I was looking for. I became the answer that I needed. And when you show up for you, oh my God, it shows up for so many more people. It's so much bigger than you. And so magic is celebrating the beauty that is you. Magic is celebrating all of the victories that got you to this point. Magic is living in those abracadabra moments because you created them. You made a choice in that moment. If it was because you got your degree, you made a choice to go to school. If it was because you got past that abuse, you made a choice to love again. If it was because you decided to be a new friend to somebody it was because you chose to be your magic. You chose to create the life you deserved. Those are our choices. That is how our life becomes magical. We chose to live in our choices and make them better than we even imagined. I didn't plan to have a kid at 20, but I chose to be a mom and live in the choice that I made. You choose your outcome when you choose the choices and live up in it and stand in it and stop allowing it to create a limited belief in you. That should have created a new trustworthy relationship with yourself. Even when I didn't want it, I showed up in it. I made the choice. I made the choice to be great. I made the choice to show up. I made the choice for me because self-love eliminates boundaries. And so I want you to love yourself in order to like yourself, in order to favor yourself, in order to choose you, to get in alignment for your assignment and become your magic. That's it. Y'all took me on an emotional roller coaster today, you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Abracadabra, magic is constant changes. Come on now. This is so special. I love this show on in the middle of the day. It's when I really start to feel a slump in my day. You raise my vibration every time you speak, sis. Thank you, my love. Thank you. It is my pleasure. And most importantly, it is my assignment. I am on assignment. What about you? What are you doing with the breath that God gave you? It is my this is my peace. This is my joy. It fills my cup. I am the answer. I want you to know that. I wonder what that would be. You became the X factor. Come on now. Come on now. I love that shift. Oh, you love my shirt. Oh, yes, honey. You can order it. Only $25, queen. You can order it. Let me know. And you can have it. Look, y'all got me all snot nose. Look, I even got F because she's a whole brand, baby. I'm feeling those tears, sis. I miss you. Oh, you feeling my tears? I mean, I thought I was gonna camouflage it, but no, they just was flowing. But that's God. Let God use you. If you gotta cry, God daggone it, cry. Whatever he sends through you, be vulnerable, be open, be submissive, surrender to whatever it is he's doing with you, because I promise you, he won't disappoint. He will not disappoint. You hear me? He will not disappoint. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So my cup, when I say my cup is so full. And so at this time, we are going to pick a card. Actually, we can play our song today. Yeah. We got some time to play our I Choose Me anthem. And so for those of you that don't know the anthem, we are going to play it. I'm going to find it after I get this card. Hold on. They don't want to blow my nose on camera, honey. That's rude. I know we lie, but Jesus, leave something to privacy. So anyway, let me see. You're going to pull this down. So, as I said, every day we are picking a card, right? A card that we want God to tell us what I am. What I want you to know is this: the ABCs of how special I am. You can find it at PreciousPortland.com. This will also, it's a game changer. So you don't have to look for I ams, because guess what? God will give you an I am every day. Get this game. It's only $25, honey. You can play with the kids. It's a matching game. You can play with your friends. You can play at parties. It is a crowd pleaser, a soul stirrer. Oh, I don't know what this is, but I was about to put it back. And so this is our I am today. What does it say? I am meaningful. I cannot make this stuff up, y'all. This is the I am that God wanted us to hear today. He wanted us to know that we are meaningful. Oh my God, what a message. What a ending to such a powerful message. Self-love eliminates boundaries. So what you've been through is why you are meaningful. God said that you got to look yourself in the mirror. You see that image? The image is always you looking at yourself, that little you and the big you. So every card has a different, it's either a woman image or a male and a son image, or, So anyway, what I'm saying is that God wants you to know today that you are meaningful. He wants you to know that you are that part of the story that he wanted you to be. And until you can love yourself, stand up in that self-love and eliminate those boundaries, because you are worthy for the position that he called you for. You are worthy for the position that he called you for. So I want you to put in the message, in the comments, I am meaningful. I see you on, Karen. Come on now. Everybody put, I am meaningful. And when you look in the mirror tonight, I want you to remind yourself, every day we get a new card now. So if you've been going on a journey, if you've been missing it, go check them last 2 weeks out, because there's been some powerful messages. You can find it in there, and we put our card back in here because we don't use the same card. We're going to have 52 different cards because we want to know what God wants us to know, and he's always co-signing the message. So I am meaningful is the ABC, the I am for today. That is so key. If you don't know that you have meaning, if you don't know that there's a definition wrapped up in your story, then you have no idea how good God is, because who you are and what you've been through is so freaking meaningful. Okay, let me get to the song. Y'all don't want to miss this song. If you're on, don't get off. You want to hear this song. You want to close out your day right, baby, because I am telling you that the I Choose Me anthem is going to be a game changer. A game changer. Hold on. There we go. Get this volume up and go. Have you ever found out just where you could be? Ever took the time to discover? Come on now. What lies inside me? All the treasures you were born with. Come on now. The world needs to see. It would give you the courage to dare to just be. I choose. Come on now. No more excuses. I choose. I'm enough. I'm enough. I choose. More than worthy. More than worthy. I choose. I own my stuff. I choose. No more excuses. I choose. I'm enough. I'm enough. If you want the words, message me and I will send you the words so you can sing along. I own my stuff. Have you ever loved yourself more than you can stand? More than you can stand. Ever took the time to walk on uncharted land? On uncharted land. Because you knew what you offered. Was one of a kind. Was one of a kind. If you never bring your gift, then what would we find? Then what would we find? I choose me. No more excuses. I'm enough. I'm enough. I choose more than worthy. More than worthy. I choose. I own my stuff. Have you ever dreamed that life would only bring joy? Would only bring joy. Only to discover that the pain brings you more. The pain brings you more. More of those questions answered. To what makes me great? What makes me great? When I learn to digest the good and bad on my plate. Come on now. No more excuses. I'm enough. I'm enough. I choose. I'm more than worthy. More than worthy. I choose. I own my stuff. The secret is that through all these things, after pain comes triumph. When you stay in your lane, you realize the lessons was blessings on the journey to you, because your purpose was found in the things you went through. I choose me. Come on.
No more excuses. I choose
I'm
me.
enough. You enough, baby.
I choose me.
More than worthy.
I choose me.
I own my stuff. The gift
is yours.
Come on now, and it's the shape of your mold.
Shape of your mold.
When you reach
your purpose,
a message of inspiration is told. Love grows everything.
Love grows everything.
In all that you do.
All that you do.
In order to give it out.
Give it out.
It must first be in you. Your dreams will be fulfilled when you choose to walk in your light. And the love that's inside will be the fuel for your flight. I choose me.
No more excuses. I choose
You're
me.
enough.
I'm enough. I choose
You're
me.
more than worthy.
More than worthy. I choose
Just
me.
own your stuff.
I choose me.
Come on now.
No more excuses. I choose
You
me.
are enough.
I'm enough. I choose me. More than worthy. I choose me.
I own my stuff.
I choose
Come on
me.
now. Own your stuff, honey. She got the riffing. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I own my stuff. Come on now. I own my stuff. It must first be in you, because everything you need, you already have. And so thank you for tuning in to the Become Your Magic Power Hour with yours truly, the Queen of Soul Stirring Inspiration, Miss Precious Paulin. I know that this message has touched you. I hope that it has sparked something up, that you can find a switch. But I want you to know that self-love eliminates boundaries. It's time for you to get rid of your limited beliefs, because it is a relay race and somebody is relying on you. And so it is our responsibility to be intentional, right? And so you got to remember our motto, which is I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. The mantra is, the closer I get to me, the better I'm able to see who I was called to be. And the slogan is, love grows everything, so love yourself first. And that's what this mission is all about. It is a self-love journey, because when I show up for me and you show up for you, there will be no work left to be done, and we all can just come and have a good time. So take the time to do your work. And remember, it is time for you to turn your heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave a soul print. Because the fingerprint tells us what we got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what we got right. And what God got right is you. So that will be all until tomorrow. I love, love, love you guys. Tomorrow may be a 7 p.m. day. I got to go somewhere with Essence. So tomorrow we will be having the Power Hour at 7 p.m. Only tomorrow, because I have something to do. But every other day we'll be on at 12. So tomorrow, all of you late night people are going to be excited, because you'll see me at 7 and at noon. Only tomorrow. Again, I say only tomorrow. But I love you guys. And remember, you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. Love you guys. See you guys later, and you take care of those souls.